Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hi, I'm Georgette Pierre, and you're listening to Black and Nuanced Podcast, dispelling the ideas that all Black people are monoliths because we're not. My guests and I bring our varying perspectives to pop culture, relationships, and things we go through that we can't always name. Welcome to Black and Nuanced, powered by Excitement Radio, and I have a special guest co-host this week. Shout out to the one, the only, Lenny Green, WBLS, Quiet Storm host. But I'm not going to do it justice. So
I don't. Well, yes, WBLS is my
in New York
foundation out of New York,
okay.
But we're around the country, thank God. So we are on. We're not only on WBLS in New York, but through WBLS because it is the flagship station. We're on in Louisiana, we're on in Georgia, we're in Oklahoma, Arkansas, North Carolina, Alabama, Nassau, Bahamas.
Nice.
We're growing. We're growing.
In Bahamas?
And yes, Nassau, Bahamas,
okay.
and Miami. We can't forget about Miami, baby.
We
Magic
can,
City.
but that's okay. Let me stop.
It's all good. It's all good. Really, it is. So I feel really, really blessed to have this opportunity to be on this Black Nuance situation.
No,
thank you for
Lenny.
the invitation.
Well, listen, you are a busy man. I wanted to get you in here for some time.
We're all busy.
Yeah, I had a month hiatus that was not expected or planned for. I was doing some freelance work, and life got away with me. I ended up going to the Bahamas, Bimini, Bahamas, with Ricky Smiley. He invited me. It was. God was everywhere, and I just felt so humbled and grateful that he even asked me. Shout out to Frat, because he's a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Delta.
But I'm still an individual. So
an individual who takes wonderful, amazing vacations to Bimini. A lot of people don't know about Bimini.
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
Did you know that Adam Clayton Powell and Adam Clayton Powell Jr. and Dr. King and Thurgood Marshall, did you know?
He told us about MLK, and we saw signs where MLK used to actually write his speeches. I didn't know about Bimini in those regards. Yeah. I didn't know about Thurgood. I didn't know about Adam Clayton Powell. Yeah, no, did not know.
Well, now you do.
Yeah, but what in connection
they use that as just escapism to just kind of clear their thoughts and kind of.
It's a great place. It's small. It's
very intimate. I have had the chance to go.
Yeah, very intimate. And you talking about me, so you've been there too. See,
I have been there, yes, but I did not get a chance to explore the city. When I went straight from I was supporting a friend. And I went straight from the ferry. Straight to the hotel. Okay. Straight to the beach.
Yeah, he for the people that went, he rented the house for us, and so we pulled up on his
on his yacht. Yeah, I got it. Can I meet the brother? I'm not a part of any fraternity, so
it has nothing to do with that. He gives so much of himself, and I have to, leading into the next thing that I've been going through the past month, just been emotional and mental roller coasters, and so that was definitely a highlight. And so he just gives so much of himself to the people that he invites into his space. And so the skies, for us, having lived in New York, and I know you're back and forth, you don't see the skies wide open like that anywhere.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people don't get a chance to see beyond their neighborhoods. And I hope as we get deeper into this year, as we get deeper into other years, if we're blessed to travel, I hope that we will allow ourselves to step outside the box. Yeah. Because you don't know how beautiful this world is if you're not venturing out.
I agree. And then my 1 year Florida work anniversary is coming up.
When?
July 30th. And I'll just end this sentence there. Period. Okay.
Oh, so that means, ladies and gentlemen, she's going to go to another exotic destination.
For my birthday, creator willing, I am.
Oh, okay.
In August, Leo season, baby.
Leo's nice people.
Yeah.
Beautiful people, actually.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all I'm going to give you right now.
Okay,
I can see where this is going.
So listen, I wanted to get into some of the trending topics and things going on on the interwebs, but also kind of offer a different perspective. So you have heard about the whole Chris Brown, Tokyo Vanity drama, for those that aren't familiar. So Tokyo Vanity, she is on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which is from VH1, a place I used to work at. And she accused him of not liking or not wanting to be around dark-skinned women. But it really started with, and I haven't listened to the song, but I'll insert the lyric.
Only wanna fuck the black bitches with the nice hair. Baby, bend it over, ass.
And that sparked conversation, because a lot of times, as far as black women, people want to be us, look like us, do things to go out their way to emulate us, but no one wants to really be us in that sense, right? You don't want to be what comes with being a black woman. But as Malcolm X said, black women are also the most disrespected women. And And we're always, our hair, like there's always jabs taking at us. And so what's considered nice hair? You know that documentary that Chris Rock came out with called Good Hair and all that other stuff. I grew up being called nappy. I grew up really feeling very insecure about my hair, Lenny. I actually still do, right? I've grown a little bit more, but just kind of the whole controversy around skin color preference and things of that nature. And so first and foremost, because it's maybe a 3-part question, what are your thoughts about the whole controversy with Chris Brown? Because even his mother stepped in, and she usually says she tends not to step in his drama, and then she put something on Instagram and saying like that's not even true. Chris Brown even came out like, okay,
you're
haters.
tripping.
Everyone's tripping.
You know, the bad part about it is that when people are in certain positions,
right.
We're living in a day and age where people pay attention to everything you say and everything you might even do, especially if you're considered to be, quote unquote, an influencer.
Yep.
And I think we have to take responsibility for our actions in terms of what we say. We can't just casually just speak on certain things if we're not ready to expand on it in depth and give a clear understanding of where you stand on this and why you stand on this. We have a lot of biases within our own infrastructure as a race, which is a problem for me. I've come across women in the past that have said, well, I only date dark-skinned men. And see, look, you can be green. You can be purple. If you're a cool person, you're a cool person. But I never wanted to ever create biases to my fellow person. Like, I only date light-skinned women. I only date dark-skinned women. So first thing I think we have, as a people, have to learn how to appreciate ourselves and learn to appreciate each other. We all have preferences.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Some like tall women, some like short women, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But you know, living in this day and age, and because if he's in the position that he's in, everyone is paying attention to everything he says. And I don't know if he understands the impact.
I think he does. But do you think him saying a skin color preference is an issue? Because if you're saying we have preferences, right? Like, I always told myself when I was in high school, I wanted a tall man, cut, hey.
Why not somebody your size, your height? And you're a petite woman. You know, why not somebody your size? See, we all have these images of what we want, right? No, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish.
Listen,
go ahead, Lane.
Tall, abs, all this other stuff. But the running joke was, even when I got that was the man that treated me the shittiest, or treated me the worst.
But you still didn't learn, probably. So you went again after the same guy.
I didn't.
What, really?
I actually ended up messing with guys that were my height, which is kind of interesting to me. But it was, whatever it was that attracted me. Maybe they're, BDE, big dick energy, right? Like short men walk around like they got big dicks. I don't know if that's true or not.
They call it back old school is called Napoleon.
Right. Now they're calling it big dick energy.
Oh, okay. Got it. Wow.
Right. The Napoleon complex.
Yeah.
But I think for them to have that much confidence and be that secure, to me, I was just like, oh, that's what's up. Like, I know I struggle with certain insecurities about myself. And but yeah,
I mean, we all have, I guess, real talk.
I could be petite and still want a tall man.
Yeah, no, you could. That's your preference, right?
Okay.
That's the bottom line at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, without explanation sometimes.
Right.
And a lot of people may feel, well, why should I have to explain anything? Because
but in the song, he's not going to.
No, he's not. He's not going to get into that. But obviously, people are going to attack Chris.
Yep.
Because he does say certain things, or he may do certain things, and everyone is out to cut somebody, and everyone's out to get that 15 second of fame, and whoever can make the most impact, or he responds back to this person in particular, that's going to get the most attention. Now this person becomes an iconic figure for 15 seconds because Chris hit him back personally and say, hey, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So I mean, so that's why I feel that, the whole preference thing, we all have preferences. All have preferences. And if you sit and be honest with yourself as you're listening to this podcast tonight, you have a preference about certain things as well.
Right, because what do you do with an accusation like that, Lenny? So you're out there in the force field of people dropping your name and knowing who you are. I mean, you may not think you're that big of a deal, but people know who you are, right? And so what would you do with an accusation like that?
My family knows who I am.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. And so does my mentor. She was like, oh, Lenny Green? I was like, yep. And I had to call and tell you. I was like, my former boss knows who you are.
Oh, wow. I'm impressed.
Shout out to C. I love her, man. My mentor. Ooh. Okay, anywho.
Thank you, C. Appreciate it. So your point, your question that you were trying to make to me?
Right. What would you do with an accusation like that? Like, because Chris, right, like, I think he takes on a lot of battles that, you know how they always tell you, like, you got to pick and choose your battles. But obviously you want to defend whatever people may think, right? Because that could be part of your demographic that supports you and your music and, you know, puts money in your pocket.
Well, everyone supports music, right? So whether you're purple, green, black, white,
right.
tall,
but what
short.
I'm saying is with Chris I'm not, you know, feeling like he has to defend himself. Sometimes I think he could be very petty on how, like, his response. But I'm sure he's probably annoyed and frustrated because then she started trying to call him out of, like, his drug addiction. Like, so now she's hitting him.
Now you're going in a lot of
different directions. But I'm sure a lot of stuff, whatever he's dealing with, there's a lot of trauma that people don't want to admit to in mental health. But needless to say, she was using, Tokyo Vanity was allegedly using examples. But if that was you, Lenny, how would you address someone trying to call you out for saying, like, oh, well, Lenny doesn't fuck with black women?
I mean, I would just address it. I would address it in a different manner in terms of try to be as intellectual as possible.
Right.
But realize, you know, a person that may not be meeting you on your level.
Right.
So if I respond back to this accusation, then I'm going to obviously respond back in an intelligent manner.
Right.
And pretty much somewhat similar to what I just expressed to you, that we all have preferences. Maybe I could have tailored it a little differently, but, you know, this is how I felt at this moment. This is how I creatively wrote it. But
she was calling out examples. Like, that was the thing. Like, she was trying to say, like, oh, we were at a club.
Because she post up a picture of herself as well?
I think she did, because people were trying to come at her as well.
And she said she got real hair.
Yeah, she was just going in and out. Like, she was just going in about some dumb stuff in relation to, like, people responding to her. So
right.
I'm not gonna call it dumb stuff, but just saying, like, you know, people have to feel the need to defend themselves. But she came out with this claim. The internet was already going off about his lyrics with the hair, and then she added the piece about, like, oh, I know that's true. I don't know.
Well, look, you know, we're talking about a reality star. So a reality star wants that fame, and wants that relevance.
Well, she said she didn't need it because she already got it right. But
well,
I know what you're saying.
There's no security in anything in this entertainment.
There isn't.
You know, you might have that moment. You know, I've seen and I know a lot of reality stars that have had their moments. And did it put them on the map for the moment? Yeah, it did. Then what happens afterwards?
Right.
We don't know. You know, so you want to build yourself. You want to build yourself beyond where you are. I mean, Cardi B is my greatest hero right now. She was popular, and she was just as raw and real as she is now as she was before.
Yep.
Love and Hip Hop helped her take it to a different level, but she was already. They
heard.
understood.
I wasn't following her.
They
online.
Understood her following before Love and Hip Hop. So Cardi had a nice following on her own. She could have probably ventured into hip hop and had a very successful role, just based on how authentically real she is. And I love her for that. And at the end of the day, Love and Hip Hop took her to another level and helped her out tremendously. But not everybody gets to be Cardi B.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? But everyone wants to be at that level.
They do.
And I can understand that. Look, if that's your heart, that's your passion, cool, go for it. I'm all for that. But I think bottom line, getting back to your point that you try to express is what would I feel? I would just direct the person. I would just come back to the person straight on and deal with it. Obviously, I don't know.
Do you have preferences?
I don't have, like I said, no, you could be a Martian if you're a good-looking Martian. I like good-looking Martians.
Isn't that a preference?
Yes, it is. Okay. Like I said, I'm not deviating away from what I feel.
Okay.
I said we all have preferences.
Preferences, yep.
I don't care. You're lying to me if you're telling me you don't have a preference.
I agree.
But in terms of us as a people, as black people, light skin, brown skin, dark skin, I'm open to all of us.
Okay,
I love my black people.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, so do you? What about?
Do I do date outside? Maybe I should. Yes.
Oh.
Let me shut that down. I mean, because I have. I mean, I'm keeping it real. I have.
Who do you prefer?
Well, look, you know, I prefer for a woman to treat me right. That's what I
prefer. Ooh, you hear that one?
A woman to treat me right.
That's fair.
It can be, yes. You know, now look, I'm not Mr. America. I don't have your 6-pack, 8-pack.
I'm not Mr. America. What's Mr. America? That's
because some women want that.
Right.
As you do.
Okay, wait.
You know, maybe in the future, you know, as you do.
I like a man that is tall and can pick me up.
Yeah, but you're pint size, so you're fun size.
Back
muscles?
No,
piggyback
rides. Okay,
see,
you were going somewhere that I was not going.
You're going there. I'm just saying it. You're going there too.
Like we're playing Jeopardy or Taboo.
So you want to be carried around? I got you.
Oh no, I have a.
Yeah, clear your throat.
Because I was eating this tangerine. Did you know this tangerine fell on the floor? So I'm mad. Half
I
the
saw it
tangerine.
for him.
Oh, I'm so salty.
Did you kiss it up to God?
I didn't. I left it right there.
It?
No.
You're not gonna eat it.
You have another one?
Hey, I come
Thanks
in here.
to Lenny, he gave me a tangerine that fell
You know how
on
you're supposed to come to class with an apple?
Lord.
So I'm coming to her show, so I didn't bring it the apple, but I did bring fruit.
He was supposed to bring something else, but he couldn't find it because he was running late. That's fine.
See, did we really have to expose that? Was that really necessary right now? No one knows.
I fuck with you, Lenny. That's why I have
right.
to. Yeah, I appreciate you. Okay, so moving on to my segment called All of the Things. All of the things.
All of the things your man won't do. Okay, go ahead.
Ooh, that is actually not what it was. But Lenny, we can keep opening our floodgates because remember you're my guest co-host, so I'm gonna ask you questions. All of the things. I don't have a man, by the way. I would love. Can I just say something?
You don't
before?
have one single man, but you do have a few men.
Wait a minute. But you just brought up a great point, and I'm gonna get into it after we do this. This actually I might go to a different topic with all of the things. So all of the things, it's like a lighthearted segment, things that we're going through. Could be heavy, could be anything, or something along the lines of relationships or something personal.
Okay.
And so the topic I initially had was, do you feel the pressure of having children? But I actually want to get into something else, right? I do. Side note, I'm turning whatever I'm turning, and my mom was just like, and you have no children? I'm like, mommy, this is what we're going to do. Unless I'm with somebody that I can trust, that it has to be an equally yoked situation. I'm not going to just have children for the sake of my age. Yeah. Like, that is a forever thing.
It is. It is. But the difference between men and women, and I'm an older cat.
You can have children whenever.
Yeah, but you know what? I want to be that father that rolls, that runs, that jumps, that leaps.
So you don't want children?
Yeah, I want at least one.
Oh, okay, you do.
I'm the last. I'm the last green.
Okay.
I'm the last green, so I want to keep that.
Okay.
That legacy, if there is one, to go, and hopefully, I need the boy for the kingdom, So
basically what Lenny Green is saying, he's single, ladies.
Yes, I'm single.
And if you're a good-looking Martian.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Who can have a child.
That's true. That's true.
Because there could be a lot.
Because you don't want to adopt.
I'm not at that stage right yet.
You want the loins, like you're.
Yeah, my DNA is right there. Bam.
Right, that's fair.
That's what I would love, but I don't know what God has in for me.
Right.
That's what I want. But God may have a different plan, and my clock is ticking. It's over-ticked.
Yeah, but for men it's different. Like, you could just, okay.
But like I said just a moment ago, as a man.
Oh, to move around and be fit with your child. Yeah,
Stevie Wonder. I think every generation knows or heard of Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder just had a child, maybe around a year and two ago. I think Stevie's like maybe 70.
And prayers up because he's going through surgery. He's about to have surgery soon. I'll find out what it is on.
So, but he had a child recently. Obviously, he has a younger woman in order to do that. But at the end of the day, I would love to have a child, just because. But I do think that women have a tendency to think about their clocks because there is look, if you keep yourself healthy, anything is possible.
Right.
You follow me? But if there is, but generally, according to some statistics, after a certain age, maybe after 40 or mid-40s, a woman could be subjected to birthing a child that may have Down syndrome because of her body chemistry.
Right.
And that's always a concern because obviously, we don't have any control over a lot of things sometimes. But, you don't, and I'm sure no matter what, if the child comes, you're going to love the child as you should.
Right.
But from a woman's biological clock, and I hear a lot of women talk about that.
Even though Halle Berry had a child close to 50, if not in her 50. Yep.
Right.
She had one and wasn't expecting. Janet, I don't know if she carried, though. Janet Jackson.
I thought she did.
She may have. No one saw it.
Well, everyone saw how heavy she got, though.
No, I think she carried.
I think she carried, too.
I think so, but I'm just saying, like, they were in their late 40s.
And like I said, if a woman hasn't had any physical problems health-wise prior to them aging, maybe they can definitely carry it. But then there may be some women who may have had health challenges way before their children, and that could cause other complications.
Either way, you want to make sure whoever you're dealing with can have.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that makes sense. Oh, and it's a kidney transplant that he's having this fall, Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
Reportedly. Mm-hmm.
So that means he could have been on dialysis.
I don't know. It didn't say.
Right. I mean.
If you're having a kidney failure, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I pray that everything turned out pretty well for Stevie.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, to carry a child at any age, and you're right. a child is not like a product. It's not like a piece of equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A child is with this person and you're with that child to the end of time. So you want to select the right person.
Absolutely.
To have a child
Because I keep
with.
hearing like people that are getting divorced and people that I'm cool with, they're just like, now it's almost like not even resentment towards the child, but now like you have to deal with the woman that you had children with that you don't want to be with.
Well, let's be clear though. The DNA from last time I checked in the class that I was in, 23 chromosomes comes from each person, right? So they got 23 chromosomes from you,
Right.
23 chromosomes from the person that you're involved with.
Right.
That's real shit. At
Right.
the end of the day, right.
Right.
So at the end of the day, yeah, you want to make sure that you are with the right person. But even if that doesn't work out,
Yep. Can you
let me
still...
just express the importance of making sure that you take care of this child, and the child is loved by two people.
Right.
That's the most important thing, because
Right.
a
But
child never asked to come.
Right, but it still depends on the relationship and the maturity, the emotional maturity of the two adults.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah. So
maturity is so vitally important, but a child is the most innocent factor in the equation.
and I've seen people drag children into stuff. It's just I don't like it.
In the middle of it, right.
I mean, like my last point before we go on to the next or the impromptu topic. I do want to have children, or at least a child. Like, so while my parents are still here, like that's a real thing. I keep thinking about that.
Wow, you touched a nerve.
Yeah, I know.
Me and one of my boys, when we were growing, we had said back in the day that we wanted he comes from a single parent family, as I did, and we both wanted our mothers to be a part of our child's life. So he ended up having a child, but his mom passed away. But then he passed away. Yeah. So that was real deep. And then my mom was still living at the time, and I wanted to have a child before my mom passed away.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen.
Golly.
So, and my mom really didn't, going back to your point, because your mom asking you, so,
yeah,
hey,
I know
when's the baby? When's the baby?
She has been ready for me, but she has other grandchildren, but I think it's something specific about me. Because my other sister that was close in age, she passed away, but she couldn't have children because she was going through different things with cancer. And so, but she still wanted children. She wanted to adopt, and then it's me. And so it's a real thing. It's a real thing. But I also think it's like Caribbean household, like, children. My brother has 5. My eldest sister has 5. It's like, okay, but mommy, I get it. But they're adults. They're big-ass children. At least on my sisters and my other.
Oh, the children have grown up. That's what you're talking.
Yeah, my sister's children, her youngest is like maybe 20, 21. But my brother, he has a couple of young ones. So
when you say young, that means baby young?
Younger than 10.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty baby.
Yeah, and they're not really around like that. My mom sees them, like they live in Virginia. But my mom doesn't see them. I just think it was different. My mom was like, she was ready to babysit and everything. I was like, Mommy, really? Goodness.
Yeah, I didn't get pressure like that.
But I think it's different
until
for
my
guys.
mom got. Yes and no. I mean, but I didn't get pressure until like later.
Okay.
I was. Even my aunt had said, "Hey, it's about that time."
It's about
that time for what? About that time for us to have a child from you. Like you
about
need.
That time.
Yeah, I need my grand. So I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah. And then my mom eventually came around. And then, that was pretty interesting. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on a lighter note, when you said all of the things that men don't do, can I tell you something that's real? And we're joking about it on the phone, but I literally, and I have to be mindful of how I say this because I know they came for Aisha Curry when she said she wanted male attention, but fuck it, I'm not married, so I could say this shit. And I don't want male attention, but have you ever had moments where you crave, for you, female company, for me, male company? Like, one time I came in from work. I was just like, damn, I wish I had someone that could rub my feet or rub my back.
I think I heard you say that.
And, I really felt...
You just want a man for,
Nope, not just. Don't do that.
Just to serve you. You just need a male companion just to be your slave. Exactly.
Cue the song cover video. No, but there's, I'm very, very protective of my energy and my space.
Right.
Literally and figuratively. And I don't, living in Florida, wonky ass state to me. So I'm not really inviting strangers or people that I don't know to my home.
Right.
And so there's only 2 people that I've known before I moved down here, and they live down here. They just happen to live down here.
And it just happen to be men.
Okay, see.
Can we be clear? Are we being transparent here, or are you trying to hold back?
Can we be clear? We are being clear. Yes, they are 2 men. Shit.
Okay.
deductive reasoning, context clues, Mr. Inspector Gadget over here.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, and so, but you know how y'all can be sometimes. Like I can't necessarily say like I can call them up and be like, can you give me a foot massage? Can you give me a back massage? Like that's not.
So you're not physically attracted to them? Is that what you're telling me?
I am, but we're not together. We're not in a relationship. It's not any like people are roaming the streets doing what they do. Like they're not necessarily studying me like that.
Oh, so they're not into you like that? Is that what you're telling me?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
you have an interest in one of them or both of them?
No.
As potential.
Let me be clear.
Cool.
We're not dating. It's almost like if we have time to link up, we link up. It's almost like a fling with one of them, and the other one doesn't really have time.
So the one that with the fling, is that your maintenance man?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to throw this mic at you because I just caught what you were trying to do.
I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to get understanding of your situation.
Your maintenance man.
Come on. I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, I could have said, is that the one who's fucking you? But I said maintenance man. That's the bottom line. I'm diplomatic with my words.
You don't have to be on this podcast.
Yeah, I understand. But, podcasts is around the world. And people seem to find me at some point.
They do, because Lenny Green will be in the tags.
At some point.
No, we just don't. It's not consistent for me to, like, for us hanging out or whatever. But, I can. And the one thing that I've always been mindful of, just because of the guy friends that I have and conversations I will have, like, sometimes some women would just tend to try to expect more than what a situation is, and me knowing that it's not more than like if I hit you up and you're around and you can kick it, we can kick it.
But see, can we define? See,
no, I ain't doing this with you.
You definitely
I ain't doing this with you. I ain't doing this with you.
Now you're doing it with me.
This is my podcast.
Oh, now you want to create ownership.
Yeah.
You invited me in your door. I came over your threshold, not because I forced my way in. You opened up the door. I walked in. So the bottom line is that we're going to talk about it. So. I'm just trying to get a clear understanding of how things go, because at the end of the day, we all can be very, very special, because I've had my fair share of women around me, and y'all can,
What does that mean?
That means I've been in relationships, like you've been in relationships.
Situationships as well? Because those are non-relationships.
Define situationships.
It's just a situation. And like
the situation is Netflix and chill. Is that what you're
It could be that. It could be anything, but it's not a relationship, and so people kind of know what time it is.
Yeah, I've been in those.
Okay.
Yeah, and then as I've gotten wiser, I like to think I get wise at least once out of a year to go to the next level of intelligence. I feel that I realize my time is important, and I realize if I want to deal with stupidity, or if I want to deal with someone who is inconsistent. Then I'll deal with it. If I don't feel like dealing with it, then that's my option. That's my prerogative. I don't have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? We're not forced to deal with anybody who we don't desire to be around. Like you had mentioned a little while ago, your energy and your space that you allow people to come into is really is protective, as it should be. But in longing that, as a man and as a seasoned man as I am, I long that too, and I'm very particular because of the kind of business that I'm in, of who can come into my space.
Right. Well, both of
I
us,
find myself lying. I said it publicly. I find myself lying initially for people who don't know me.
About what? Oh, lying about what you. Oh, okay.
What I do for a living.
Yeah, you had to follow that up, because I was like, lying about what?
Yeah, I know. See,
that makes. I agree.
Your ears perked up when I said.
I was like, lying about what? I was like, oh, this is getting juicy. I wasn't expecting this.
No. I just, and the reason why I do that, because I don't want a person just to want to be around my company because I look like a fringe benefit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be pimped like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's really real for you. There was this tweet from this girl I follow. Her name is Melissa Tripp, and so she tweeted out, "Stop overextending yourself for those who have mastered the art of forgetting you."
And I have another quote that was that I've committed to memory by Dr. Maya Angelou. Don't make someone your priority if they make you their option.
I feel like that's what I am.
An option. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, I've been dealt that option shit too, and I'm like, nah.
That shit is real.
I'm not gonna get. I understand my value.
Right.
So maybe that's why, because I'm not going to allow a person to treat me as an option, nor am I going to treat them as an option. I'm going to treat them with respect.
Right.
I'm not going to treat them casually or feel that I can just fuck over them and treat him any kind of way. I'm not going to do that.
Well, I'll say this about the option piece. I think it's one of those where I'm not blowing this person's phone up. At least one of them. Like, I'm not. Well, actually, both of them. Like, I'm not blowing their phones up. I'm not expecting all these things. And so, but I still do feel like an option. Like, if I hit you up and like you take your time to get back to me, and you actually could rightfully be busy. It's not like I'm like holding my breath, but I have been in those moments where I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, and I had to pull away. And so for me, I'm still balancing, or actually really understanding, and as crazy as it sounds, still understanding my value. And when it comes to like just shuffling or shuttling out of people's lives and letting people go, like let them go. And it's not necessarily like fuck them, but it's like, Georgette, just keep it moving. Like spend your energy somewhere else. Right. But if I know for me, I'm doing the same thing that I feel like they're doing to me, as far as like, oh, I'll hit you up when I feel like
fair being exchange is no robbery.
You said what?
Fair exchange is no robbery then.
Wait a minute. You are the second person. My cousin said that, and I did not know.
You know what that means, obviously.
I do. I had a whole episode about it.
Oh.
And it was named.
How did I know?
It was called Fair Exchanges, No Robberies.
Boom.
Wow. That's the perfect way of putting it, at least for one of them. That's exactly what it is.
Right.
Fair Exchanges, No Robberies.
So what goes around comes around. I mean, you can't, if that's the energy you're putting out, then that's the energy.
But then I have to also be mindful, like if I want to receive more, then like I have to be mindful of what I'm putting out there. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's called being, it's being mindful. That's exactly, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it is. And you know, it's just like, it's just going back to Chris Brown. It's just like he has to be mindful of what he's putting out there in order for things to come back. Because things are going to come back anyway. Look, if they talked about Jesus, who am I? Really, who am I? If they talked about Jesus, who am I? I am nothing.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Like it doesn't matter.
And Jesus did everything great.
Right.
You know, he did everything phenomenally. He was a comforter. He still is. He's a provider. You know, he healed people.
Yes.
But yet they still had fault in all that he did for the good of people.
Yep.
So who am I?
Right. That's a good point. That's true. Okay, Lenny, that's
my name.
I like where we left this. I'm gonna leave it there.
You gonna leave it there?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I mean, but you know, we still haven't found. So no, let's get back.
Oh my gosh.
I want to peel off this one little layer. So you have these two cats who you knew prior to you coming down to Florida.
Yes, Lenny.
And they're like platonic friends, one would assume, right? Just regular friends, buddies, buds for you. You don't find the desire.
I don't find the desire of what?
In wanting to, well.
There's one I don't see myself, like I think because when I met him not living here, and I think we had even a mild conversation, like this person's been married and all this other stuff, and so he went through some shit when he was married. Yeah. So I don't know, for him, his career was priority. Like he left, outside of being married, he left a relationship because of his job. So in his mind, I don't necessarily know if he's looking for one. And if he's looking for one, I don't necessarily know it would be with me.
And both of these guys are around, what, 6'2"? Your prototype?
They're not.
Oh, they're around your height?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Okay. Gotcha. But they have 8 packs.
One does.
One does.
Okay.
You must be all over that cat.
Stop there. Only thing is, I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Is this the guy that you just talked about?
Which one?
The one who was married. The 6-pack guy.
I can't.
I'm just trying to get clarity for all of us. That's all. Trust me.
I don't need you to get clarity for the listeners.
I'm just trying to help. Yeah, I'm trying to help you understand like I'm trying to understand as well. I should have
reconsidered having you as my co-host.
Actually, that was the best move you made.
It was, because like now you're digging into my personal life.
Hey, you forget I do this too.
You do this for a living. You're doing it a lot longer than me. Yeah, no, we're cool. We're cool.
What kind of statement is that? We're cool. I mean, ice is cool. I mean, what do you mean we're cool? How does cool look like?
If I hit him up, he'll eventually get back to me.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not a priority for
him? Mm-mm. Gotcha. But I knew that.
You knew that.
But I always like poke jabs. Like if I'm rolling
maybe because he gets that energy from you, or maybe you give that energy to both of them.
No.
That's what you're getting back in return, or have you expressed some kind of personal interest in one or both at some point?
I haven't for the one for.
Think about it now.
No. Because there's one thing. I'll tell you a story offline, but
I bet you would.
Okay. Anywho. One of them, no, I haven't expressed interest because I don't necessarily know. Like, I felt like he already kind of made his decision up when I met him a while ago. So whatever continued to happen between he and I, that's what it was. Does that make sense?
For you, it does, yes.
No, but I'm serious.
Okay.
So I never really readdressed it because I don't, in my mind, like,
Got it.
Yeah, like, I'm okay.
So how does Georgette now seek that male companionship when she is feeling like she needs her foot massaged?
Oh, I've been closed off to people down here, though, I have to admit. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
So when you're in New York, it's a wholly different program, huh?
No, but I know more people in New York. I think for me, where I'm at,
more options.
But even they say like it's kind of funky dating in New York. I don't know if you've experienced that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a New Yorker, so I would definitely experience that.
Right. I think for me, the biggest thing for me is I thought when I was doing the podcast early on, like in season 1, when I had my co-host, Snap was my co-host. He's a colleague of ours. I think there was something. I said I'm at a place in my life where I think I want it to be a friendship going into a relationship, because I've done it the other way around, and I blocked and deleted numbers. Like it didn't last. There was no foundation, and I actually used to be scared of a friendship. I think that's what it is. Was friends with one of them, wasn't friends with the other one. That is really head into his career, like focused on that. And so for me, it's like, it's a fling until I just decide to stop hitting him up.
Got it.
Right, that's kind of where it is, and I'm not really bothered by it.
So it's interesting because going back a little bit and moving forward at the same time, a lot of millennials these days, from what I've recently read about, are waiting later in life to settle down. They're waiting later in life to start a family because they're really career driven, which is great.
Yeah,
it's great.
But I don't know if it's a millennial. Oh, yeah, I guess I was gonna say I don't know if it's a millennial thing. I'm about to be etched out of the millennial age range. Not
really.
I am.
You're going to be 35?
I'm not going to discuss my age. It's like,
no, I heard that the millennial age goes up to 20s to 34.
It's 18 to 34.
So I was right.
You were right about what?
That it goes up to 34.
Okay.
So you said you're going to be, and I might add, quote unquote,
that I'm going to be edged out soon.
Right.
I didn't say when. I just said soon.
Okay.
I'm okay with people knowing my age. Yeah. I'm turning 35 this year, and that's the whole thing around my mom.
I'm turning 35
You're not.
too.
What, 10 times over?
For
the 10th time?
Now you're smacking me now.
No.
Huh? Wow.
But no, I think that's the whole reason why I feel like my mom, like halfway to 40, and even I still have my toe into being a millennial, right? Like as far as like what they are up to. But yes, I've been career driven for the longest. And the one thing I remember saying, this record exec said to me, she's no longer working for the label she works for. This was several years ago. She was like, when I did an informational with her, the one thing she said she did not do was have children. And she said she wished she made time
to have
for that.
When you're pursuing a career, it's different than a job. And I know this because I'm speaking from experience.
Right.
You put so much time, energy, and you go through so much disappointment. You're going through highs and lows emotionally, physically. And it's challenging to where you want to go and where you're at, and you're wondering constantly, will it happen? Will the next breakthrough happen? Will the next opportunity happen? I would like to make a comfortable living financially.
Yep.
So you go through all of that, but then one thing that you're going through all of this, but one thing is not on your side.
Time.
Yes.
It isn't. So I'm not intentionally pushing things back. But the one thing, Lenny, I'm not doing, all jokes aside, is like I'm not going to jump into something with somebody.
And you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't jump into anything.
So that's why sometimes like the male company every now and then, because I enjoy living by myself. When you live in New York, rent is so expensive. Like you're living with fucking roommates, and some people do 3 or 4. I didn't do more than 2, and I left my situation having 1, and now I live by myself, and I love coming home to myself.
It's interesting. I have a topic that's brewing. I should share it with you because one of my boys was having this conversation the other day. He's about to move, and he's living in a situation right now where he's like, I guess he's renting maybe a basement of a place. So he's about to step up his game tremendously, get a 2-bedroom backyard,
in New York?
front yard in Westchester.
Oh, okay,
Westchester, New York. Yeah. So he's been kind of an introvert to a degree, but he's in radio as well. So he's been seeing this young lady for quite some time, but she's an alpha female.
I am too.
So when is it disrespectful if you're dating someone and you get your own place? Now you're dating. You're not dating exclusively. It's not technically a relationship.
But as long as that been cleared, communicated that y'all are not exclusive.
Yes. It's been clear. To my understanding, it's been clear.
Okay.
In his situation,
we'll go
I don't know.
From your understanding.
Right.
Okay.
So it's been clear. Is it considered to be disrespectful if you lay in parameters now?
If you're laying parameters down.
In terms of like, look, I have my own place, I have my own place now. It's a bigger place. I can relax, chill.
Yep.
But because of my career, and you know how this career can be, in particular when it comes to radio or things related to radio, well, sometimes you're having such a hard day or a long day that you just want to come home and be alone.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to really talk if you don't want to talk.
Okay.
You sound like that could be a person like you, right?
I am the person that would not. I would even consider doing a his and hers if I got married, like a his and hers old place, like we're living in the same building or living next to each other.
Yeah, you don't want that. You want your space.
Yeah, I mean, but I need it every now and then, right? Like, because people think, and going back, I got a response for you for what you just told me, but people think like they have to follow societal's expectations of what a marriage or a relationship or something or boundaries look like. I think it is beyond okay to lay down any boundaries. You actually should, because then what starts to happen is if he has a moment where he is in a pissy ass mood, she may find a way to twist it on like,
right,
I was here for you, but it had nothing to do with her.
Right, right.
You just sometimes have to just expel that energy on your own. Like, I got to flush this out and you can't be here. And that could easily be, I just need to sit the fuck down with nobody in my ear. Right. Like, that's all it really is. Like, I want to walk around naked. I want to watch.
But let's be honest and really clear. If a man it's different when a woman lays down the ground rules. We have no choice as men but to follow what you want.
That's not true, but continue.
That is definitely true. You're lying like a rug if you don't even say that I'm telling
No,
you.
I think
when a man lays down these rules, and you've been rocking with him for a minute, and you've been out on dates, you may have had little
relations, a little dick in your life.
Boom, a lot. Because you know what? If he's still involved with you, chances are the dick is good.
Okay,
you're not fucking about a dude who has bad dick. Let's keep it real. At the end of the day, that's why you're going to stay,
right?
Because sometimes that makes us stay. We get whooped. I've been whooped a couple of times.
You've been whooped by Poom Poom?
Yeah, exactly. If it's great.
By the yaya?
Yeah, yang, whatever you want to call it. That's the bottom line. Yes, I have been whooped. I've stayed in relationships probably far longer than what I should have stayed in a relationship because of that shit.
Wonder if that's similar. One of the relationships you were talking to me about at dinner. You were just like, you stayed longer than you needed to. Was it because of her yaya?
Most importantly.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and she had it nice.
Okay. Yep, we're good. We're good. Lenny, I love you.
See, I was gonna say she had a six pack too because she was really into fitness.
Oh, okay.
She had a great body.
Did she bring you along with her?
Who?
Did she bring you along with her? You know how like sometimes when you're dating people that are into, you kind of get ingratiated in what they do too?
Yeah, she was doing insanity. And I said the first time I worked out, I'm like, you are insane. Because only insanity people deal with this insane workout.
You are insane.
But it does have, no, shout out to the brother who started up. That's a great program. You just got to be ready. Because insanity gives you great phenomenal results. But I wasn't accustomed to it. So she was doing it for she did it like every day she woke up. Right. She was like into it.
Yes.
So I loved her body. I was like, oh. Her body was ridiculous. Okay, that's enough.
I'm looking at him like, okay, we're gonna wrap this up, Lenny.
But no. So, I feel that it's a double standard though when a man lays down his parameters, so to speak, because most women, I'm not going to say all, like you ladies have a tendency to say all men. Most women will look at you sideways, like you threw them a curve, and you really didn't.
Right.
It's simply how you just wonderfully explained it just a moment ago. That's all it is.
No, I agree. I think as long as, I just think, and we'll kind of wrap it up after this, I just think, to be honest, if we can be honest with each other in communication, because that's what tends to happen with some relationships, and that's why I think a lot of men get a bad rap, is because they're not being honest. They're not their intent. It's that, and it's just there's bad intention behind why they're laying down ground rules. If you're saying like, listen, girl, I'm an asshole when I don't get time to myself for X amount of days. I need this time to myself. Cool. I actually had this conversation with somebody. I was like, listen, there are moments where I could be up under you, but I'm going to need to back up off you, and I'm going to need my space for a couple of days. I just need you to respect that. So I just think if the communication is very transparent, and there's communication, period, I think it could be okay. But it depends. And then also the whole 4 agreements. Like one of the agreements is just don't take it personal.
That ain't gonna work. Come on. Emotions are involved.
But listen, every individual is important. Whatever you have
got
going
you.
on,
I got
like
you.
if you and I were dating, Lenny, and I could not respect or understand certain things, and I felt like you were doing things to spite me, I have to check why I feel that way. That's coming from something else, so that wasn't resolved.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you,
No,
right?
I feel you. But
So-
you know how it's to from a man's standpoint, will we get a chance to understand that? Because chances are you're probably not even being open with that.
Right, but then you ask the hard-hitting questions like you try to ask me on this motherfucking podcast
Who,
about
me?
my personal life.
Me?
My personal life, yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You try to
about that.
peel back the layers for the listeners.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You know what? We're just going to go straight to how they can find you online, Lenny.
Yeah, you can find me online on Instagram and Twitter at Lenny Green, LennyGreen, at Lenny Green on Instagram and on Twitter. And I'm somewhere on Facebook. That's all I can say. I got like several different Facebook pages.
We're going to get you right.
Georgette's been trying to help me. She has not succeeded yet.
Well, because it's a
Because she's
snafu.
been so busy. You know,
No,
she
it's
just
been a
hasn't had no
snafu.
time for me.
It's a snafu
That's
beyond
cool.
our control.
I understand.
Okay, whatever. Continue.
So yeah, find me. Basically, Instagram and Twitter is the best way, and shoot me an email. Lenny Green TQS, LennyGreen TQS@gmail.com.
Oh, that's nice of you to give us your email.
Yes. I like to connect with audiences. You know?
I like that. You could find the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Black Nuanced Pod. That's Black NUANCED Pod. You can email me blacknuancedpod@gmail. You can find me personally on Twitter at Georgette or Instagram at Georgette Pierre. And yeah, Lenny,
This has
thank
been a wonderful
you.
opportunity. So thank you for allowing me to come in.
appreciate you.
Although I feel like I'm being kicked out, but it's cool,
You're
ladies
not
and
being
gentlemen.
kicked out. Peace.